What's going on, guys? I hope you didn't wait too long because I got started late because I had to restart my computer because weird audio issues because I don't know. I have no idea why all that mess started. Hopefully you can hear me okay. In fact, I probably should be listening to the stream to make sure. In fact, I might just do that real quick. Turn off the mic and do that. This check is taking me a minute because the Twitch app is very slow. Excuse me, it was dinner. I don't even think I've opened up Unity because I had to restart my entire computer right when I was trying to go live. So tonight we were going to work on fixing some mechanics issues in the game. A couple things I've seen here or there, they shouldn't be too big a deal. But I figure, you know, go ahead and take care of that stuff. Hey, Green, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope the job is going well. Hopefully we get started in a second. I just really want to hear the audio from the stream. Make sure it's okay. Because everything sounded like a garbled mess earlier, and I was like, what in the heck happened? Like I was just listening to the computer audio, you know, before I made the changes for the stream. My God, the Twitch app is so slow. Come on. Twitch mobile app. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, everything looks good. Saw some slowdown, but I don't know if that was the Twitch app or that was my stream or what, but okay. We'll just have to monitor. I might end up making this a short stream tonight, depending on how my technical issues evolve here. All right, here we go. Oh, and boo. Oh, okay. And Green, you hit that boo before I got on the right screen. Yeah, I'd have to be on this screen. I probably should put up a sign for, or put up something for that. In fact, I thought that was disabled. Here's the sound you requested, though. I gotta look at that. I thought I disabled that if I was not on the right screen. I'm looking at this real quick. I didn't pause the sounds. Okay, that's one thing I need to do. Or did I? Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I got those. I need to fix that when I get a chance. Because that's not fair. If it's not going to play, it's not fair to you guys. Oh, turn the wrong way. All right, man. Let's see what we got going on here. So many issues going on tonight. All right, let's see if we can replicate some of these issues I've seen and figure out what to do about them. I have to grab that one. I'll put this guy here. See, I don't like that. It should get, I thought that should make a chain. See there, if it collides, it makes the chain. See, that hits that, it made a chain. Also, we're missing a destruction animation. Did that mean to touch that? What happens if those touch that? What happens? It's just pushing out of the way. What's up, Riven? How you doing tonight, man? So we got 3 things I need to fix. Let me check YouTube just in case, because I can't see YouTube tonight because one of my screens is down for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Let's jump to the code. Unable to refresh Steam limits authorization token. What the heck? See, now it works. Yeah, I gotta fix that. You're not supposed to be able to. Well, I'm not on the screen that has those effects on it. You're not supposed to be able to use those. So sorry about that earlier, Green. Hope you're doing well, man. All right. Let's see. We need to go to where the collisions happen. Turn up my There we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm good, man. Just dealing with these technical issues. How's that job going? You've been there. You should have been there a couple months now, right? Excuse me. Oh, the cheer. That's a cheer. Oh, social body collision. Here we go. Oh, boo from a ghost. Okay, yeah, I don't have that. I've got like what is it? The horror. How did you lose your job, man? And I'm right there in the boat. I'm 2 weeks from losing my job, so. Nice, nice. I would love to do that myself, man. Well, I mean, I actually do have my own company, but that sounds great, man. Are you doing just kind of like a consultant development type thing? Yeah, in 2 weeks, I'm getting laid off. See, the drag body. So this is if you're being dragged. What if we just took this out and say, okay, if it's, we don't care if it's dragged or not. Okay, no problem, man. It happens every time there's a economic turn down. Like, not the first time. Yeah, just it's the global economy just kind of slowing down altogether for different reasons. Let's see if it's a drag body here. And if the collision is with anyone else, if it's not the drag body, and the collision is not with anybody else, it doesn't make sense though. I figured that would catch everything. Oh, okay. If it's in a chain, the colliding body in this body, the body's being looked at against in the chain. Then we grab it and we say, okay, then we add it. Why am I doing it twice? Wait a minute. I done forgot everything. Yeah, for the gaming stuff. Like the games I'm going to release are going to be released under that umbrella, Revcom Gaming. This is not the chain. Okay, wait a minute. Fact here. I'll do this. Yeah. I mean, that's the itch page, but it is an actual company. Which would they need to get the whole website thing built. I try to sell business intelligence SaaS. Nice, nice. What is it? When you say business intelligence, like, are you selling like Tableau integrations, or like, give me like specifics about the business intelligence? Because when I think business intelligence, I'm thinking like reporting, like a Power BI or a Tableau, or you know, stuff like that. Okay, so if the colliding body, right? That's what we're looking at right here. Yeah, the body that, oh no, wait a minute. Okay, the one that was collided with and the origin body. So, wait a minute. I probably should have like put some comments here. Body, celestial body collided. And I guess the one that collided and the one that was collided with. So this is where the collision originated. This collision event originated on. And so it's got to go get the actual game object for it. Wait a minute, but we already have the game object. You're reporting with my own software with a combination of consulting. Nice, nice. Okay. What do you specialize in? What's your like programming language you specialize in? Are you using any services like Upwork or Fiverr? I've been debating on getting back on Upwork, but it's more like consulting now. So I'm just wondering. I'm wondering if I have to completely start over. Geoanalytics, data intelligence software on my own. Okay, all right. PHP too. Ah, okay, okay. That makes sense. Going to Fiverr. Okay. Yeah, I've debated on Fiverr myself. But I know when I did Upwork, that was enough on its own. So I guess this would be here to make sure that it's valid collision, because you could collide with something that's not in a chain, right? But this is looking for if it is in a chain. So if the origin, no, if, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so I tried to make my marketing with professional and Google Ads. Okay. Yeah, I've not looked into Google Ads yet. I really need to. Okay, so if we find the body of origin. Okay. Actually, C is the best choice for nearly everything today. I've actually found that kind of yes and no on that. I found for creating like stuff like DLLs, C++ is still like the best option. If you want fast, essentially, yeah, I tend to build that type of stuff in C++. I'm looking at possible scripting languages because there's some things that are done in scripting languages that C# doesn't really do. I mean, unless you have ASP.NET on the front end, which I'm not really fond of. Honestly, I'll write PHP before I write like ASP.NET. Yeah, but like your PHP is good for your web servers and all that stuff. But yeah, like for actual application work, yeah, C# is usually takes care of whatever you need it to. Hardcore data stuff, yep. Let's see. So if we find the one that is the source of the event, and it is not in a chain, or it is in a chain, excuse me. Grab it. So we're only connecting the things that are already in chain, which I don't think that's right. Then we look through this list again once we found that. Just wonder why are we looking through a second list? And I wrote this and I'm trying to remember it. Because we're looking for it again. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I read a statistic the other day that like, what, 70% of the web is built in PHP? Like, you know, the web server, the web apps usually are built mostly in PHP. It is a quick and kind of dirty way to get things done, but it's got its issues. It's the most right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. But so does Python. Python doesn't have out of the box. Python doesn't have multi-threading either. It says it does, but it does not, and I've proven it. And then I've tried Ruby, and Ruby has issues with memory mutation. I think it's mutation issues I kept running into. Was hard to when it's multi-threading, it's very hard to keep track of threads mutating memory values or something like that. It's been a while, but I abandoned Ruby because of that, because it was really getting annoying. Yeah, but it is really fast at scripting. And it is kind of the go-to for AI and ML, because it's so you can, to my opinion, you can kind of, well, that the APIs are there for it, and then it's kind of dirty and quick to actually get things set up because you're not really caring about the code. You're trying to get to the AI data stuff. You're trying to get into the AI. Yeah, true. I agree with that. But once I have this guy, that is in a chain. I'll look through this again for whatever reason. And if it's not in a chain, but why would I look for this again? Oh, this is collided. Okay, I'm getting my variables confused. Okay. This is when it's looking for, looking at the, whoops. Okay. This is when it's looking at the origin of the event. And if the person, if the body that's in the, that is the origin of the event is in a chain, grab it. Right, because you're adding it to the chain. Then I go and look up the collision, the collider. My thing is, I kind of do and don't want to learn Rust. I kind of want to jump straight to Zig. If I'm going to like go to the next step beyond like C#, or not, sorry, C#, C++, because that's essentially, Rust is just like, it's a place in between C++ and C#, where it's fast but it takes care of your memory problems, so you don't any issue. It's safe. It's memory safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's C++ but memory safe. But it's not C# is what I'm trying to get at. But I hear it's like kind of too hand-holdy. And I kind of want to see that myself to get it. But I hear like Zig is the actual like next step if you really want to go to safe hardware level C++ type application. If you want to write applications that are kind of hardware level on the same as C++ but safe memory. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but safe, you know. Yeah, I would love to just actually learn Rust if I had the time, just to see if I would really like it. Yeah. But I feel like I'm going to run into that thing of it's not going to do everything I want it to do because it's trying to play it too safe. Plus, also, Bevy is written in Rust, and I've got some guys in my local game dev community who program and make games in Bevy, and they do some really interesting stuff. So this is just making sure that what I clouded with can be connected to. So in this, I need to insert or put in this is not a chain. In fact, I need to take this part out and see what happens. Yeah, Bevy is it a game engine or a game? Let me see. You make games in it, but I'm not sure if it's an engine or if it's just a programming language. It's an engine. Well, I've been interested in it, but it seems like it takes a lot more work than Unity. So if I remove this, then this just gets the oh yes, it's incredibly buggy. I've always said that it just feels like a bunch of tools they slapped together. And I was surprised when I heard they have a stability team, which means they have to have a whole entire team to keep that app stable and to continue making it stable. Yeah, I'll see you on the other end. Or this should be. Not in a connected chain. Or hold on. It should be not in a connected chain. And or actually because these will never be, these should never be true at the same time. Or not in a connected chain. So if it's not in the chain, or which means it's by itself. Wait. Yeah, if it's not in the chain, or welcome back, Green. Was not in a connected chain. So not the chain, or it's got a side, it's not fully completed as part of a chain. That's what I'm thinking. That should be. Let's see how that logic works. You're probably the only one I trust when it comes to solid expertise. Do you think it's possible to write complete functions with AI now? I would say when you're talking about functions, it's usually about the size of the function and the complexity. Because I've had it write functions and usually it gives me something that's looks workable, but then you have to like break it down by each line. And I've usually found that there's always some issues you have to clean up with that code. So yes, it can write complete functions if they're simple and not complex. Well, that's the same thing as simple as not complex. If they're small and not complex, and then you still have to, I would still go through every single line to make sure like it, you know how it functions and what it's doing. I would never trust vibe coding to write anything, honestly. But I've actually done it on stream where I've gotten like a good example is when I wanted to get like what was it, shader code. I was wanted to do some work with shader codes, and I dabbled my toe in it before, but I've never actually like done it, like written it. And so I went to ChatGPT, Copilot, and Claude, and I had them write this from the same prompt, had them write a shader. And then I on stream went through every single line of the shader code. And so I taught myself a little bit about shaders and figured out which one at least got you close from the beginning to a workable shader. So pretty much what I was saying. So yes, with caveats. It's the answer to your question. You know, the yes, but. Okay, so let's set up some scenarios here. Okay, that needs to stop. Okay, that's already broken. I don't trust AI at all when I'm programming. It almost never completely correct. Debugging is usually even more time consuming. I can't give a custom function that isn't. No, exactly right. Right. I would never, like, number one, like I said, I would never take something that was written, essentially vibe coding was where you take something that is written by AI and you try to, I don't want to say put it to production, but like you try to use as is essentially with minimal intervention. As far as I see it, that might be somebody else's definition might differ, but yeah, I would never ever take code that I got from an AI and like put it in production or just slap it in, you know, my application or whatever, not without firmly vetting it. And yeah, if you are making a giant app or something, if you're making a full-blown app, it may be just faster for you to write that code. But for things that are simple, you could get away with like having AI write that and then just like going through it real quick, and then it probably will save you some time in that aspect. But yeah, the bigger and the more complex the code is, I would strongly suggest against using AI. Other than learning. And even then, be careful, because I'll even tell you, I just figured out like Steam networking, the Steam networking API. And I did the thing where I used, what was it? ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. I asked the same question: how do I do this? How do I do what I'm trying to do in the Steam networking setup, their API? And I thought Gemini had gotten me close. I thought Gemini really gave me like working code. And then when I actually went through it and actually looked through it and spent like a day or two figuring out that it gave me bad information, like that really pissed me off. Like I was pissed, and I was like, well, I won't even go into the moment that I realized it gave me bad information, but yeah, it made me realize you have to be very careful even learning from AI. I'll tell you the bad information it gave me. It told me you could create lobbies on the server side. And then I come to find out, because I tried it and it wouldn't work at all. And then I was like, what is going on? Like, it clearly has it right here and it makes sense. Then I went and like I actually went and started diving in to an example project, which I really should have done to begin with, but that's a whole nother thing. Come to find out you can only create lobbies on the client side. So it literally gave me client code as part of a server code. So I would just be very careful. But kind of going back to the other thing I was saying, the reason I didn't look at the example project, because it didn't make sense, because the documentation for Steam networking is so bad. But finally, like just looking through it and then like having the accumulated knowledge of looking at it for months now is where I was able to figure it out. All right, so why did we have that where it hit that one, it connected? Oh, because I have to stop. I have to do something else, don't I? I'm missing a piece here. That when something's being pulled, it needs to I need to turn off gravity. What is this, by the way? Okay, it removes all the orbital stuff. What happens when you remove gravity? So it has to go through. I would like to know if you would also accept commissioned work. I commission work all the time. Are you talking about like, would I go out and commission work? I do it all the time. From the concept art for Infernal Arena to the concept work for concept artwork for Infernal Arena, the animation work for Infernal Arena, the models for Infernal Arena, the UI work for this game. I plan to eventually get music and effects work for this game as well. How much do you charge for? It depends, because I treat it like a interview. Like I actually go out and I actually interview, interview, quote unquote. I actually go out and I actually start like getting how you doing, Mr. Human Limits? I actually go out and I start like vetting people from different sources. So sometimes that might be on Discord. Sometimes that is on Fiverr. Every once in a while they're local. Good to hear, Mr. Human Limits. What you been up to? So this removes the gravity from the drag, but I need a version of this that will remove it from. Well, let me look at this real quick. Found a free Poppy Playtime Unity project that can be used without copyright. Oh, wow. Okay. Messed around with it for a while. It's very well made. Okay. The guy who made it, the devlogs too. All right. You charge $150 per hour? Good ring coder? Is that a per hour charge? Wow. I don't think I've ever paid that much. Plus I think I normally go for flat fees per like unit of work than hourly. I went hourly one time. I've told this story up here before about a guy who I had doing animation work, and I had him charge me hourly, and it was like a nightmare. Taxes are too crazy here. Gotcha. Jeez. Yeah, I kind of see that then. to tax. Oof. Now I know when I was consulting, when I was doing my own, not consulting, sorry, when I was freelancing, the tax on that stuff is so much higher than if you're working for a company. I can't tell you what it is now because that was back in 2001, but like, yeah, the tax rates get so much worse if you're working for yourself. Yeah, and Miss Human Limits, man, if you make something out of that, let me know. In fact, I'm kind of curious to see it. Yeah, I'm really curious to see it. Do you have a name for it? Don't I already have a remove gravity function? Remove orbiting. Does it have does it have a project name or anything? Or the guy? Yeah. So it was remove orbiting. Okay, so I need to remove gravity. I wonder why I hadn't done that before. Or does it automatically do it? I think it already does it, but still. Wait a minute. Back up. When you add the chain, it doesn't get rid of the gravity and the orbiting? Huh. That's weird. I figured it wouldn't do that. But I guess it's a process. The guy's name project is using facility. Let's see. Trying to look this up. Yeah, I'm not finding anything. Oh, but yo, sorry, that's your project that I'm writing in there. Okay, that's why I'm not finding anything. All right, but I'm not finding anything by that name either. You wrote that wrong, Dan. So he has a profile on. I haven't. No, when you wrote the dev dude, you wrote it wrong. Oh, okay, I see it. Now, do I actually show this? Because I've had to actually put a blanket ban on. Oh, Missy Lips, do you remember that video? That video we watched? The one you suggested? I've had to, thanks to that, I've had to put like a specific ban on videos and movie trailers. They got me, YouTube got me good. Yeah, Magic, yep. They got me good. They blocked the stream from being seen until I edited it out. No, it's nothing on you though. But yeah, they got me good. I had to put a blanket ban on it. I had to edit that thing twice. Okay.
Hey, we got this whole.
Okay. Take care of you. No, it wasn't. And you didn't know. Here we go. All right.
I remade Poppy Playtime in Unity, but it was kind of a mess. It ran poorly, and the physics. So I overhauled the entire thing, and now it runs at over 400 FPS, and that's not even the biggest change. In this video, I rebuilt the core mechanics and made them 100 times better, and added a bunch of your suggestions. So let's get into it.
We're not going to watch this whole thing,
the
but
biggest visual upgrade to the grab bag, the cable. One of the main complaints on the last video was that the cable looked flat, and it kind of flew all over the place. And honestly, I agree. The reason for that is I was using a fully simulated cable.
it's interesting.
It was broken up into a bunch of small segments, and each segment was affected by physics individually. And while that does sound cool, it was a terrible idea. It hurt performance, it was unstable, and it just didn't look good. On top of that, I was rendering it using Unity's built-in line renderer, which is basically just a 2D line. So instead of trying to fix it, I deleted the entire script. Now, instead of simulating dozens of physics segments, the cable is just a smart path between points, and then I generate a full 3D mesh around that path. Here's how it works.
Oh, that's nice.
First, the cable is just a line made of points in space, a start point, end point, and many other points in between. But instead of trying to simulate physics, the system calculates a path between the hand and the player. If the cable hits something, it inserts a new wrap point, and if that wrap point is no longer needed, it can just remove it. So instead of reacting to physics, it just solves the path. Then, at every point along that line, I place a small circle. Each of those circles is made up of multiple vertices, and then I can just connect each circle to the next one by stitching the matching vertices together with triangles. And the result is a fully 3D cable that wraps cleanly around objects and just performs way better.
I love this type of thing. I can't sit and watch it, but I love it.
The list of points backwards when retracting.
Okay.
And remove any wrap points as
Interesting. Yeah, it does, and I'm glad he like essentially open sourced it so somebody like you can actually kind of check that out. That's awesome. In fact, I'm gonna throw that guy a follow. All right, back to this. So we're moving orbits, so I guess we gotta remove gravity too. Get rid of this part. Orbiting bodies. Yeah, go ahead and get rid of anything that's actually under the effect of its gravity. and vice versa. Remove all that. Okay. Got some project planning for a Swiss corporation later. Have to justify $500,000. Have to justify $500,000 in project costs somehow. Dude, if you get projects where you get $500,000 in budget, man, my salute to you, man. If I can get my hand up here, salute. Come on, hand, get up there. I'll just do it here. Let's wait a minute. Okay, yeah, this is up here. Okay. Sounds like a lot, but it gives me just enough to work money. That's right, you get the 35% of that. Still 35% of that is still what? $500,000, 500,000. 35% of that is still like what? 100,000 plus some taxes. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, by the time you get down to 35% over 2 years, that's yeah, that isn't a lot. Or it's, I would say in the United States, that would be, you couldn't live off of that comfortably. You at least need to have like another project. 3,000 per month. That's what you get. Taxed or non-taxed? You know, gross or net, essentially. Tax, yeah, I got you. Yeah, no, I get you. You wouldn't be able to do that by itself, at least here in the States. You'd have to have another one. You at least have to have another one along the same lines, at least 2 projects. They get you that amount. That gives you that amount to have a livable wage. But are you adverse to payment, Miss Human Limits? The companies want to pay Miss Human Limits money. Oh, I forgot to say that. Oh, I forgot to turn this off. All right, there we go. That's it. Now you should hit that one and connect as well. There we go. Oh, what gross payment? Oh, gross. Okay. So gross is the full amount you get that's not taxed yet. I forgot you haven't entered the workforce yet. Yeah, gross is before tax. Yeah. Wait, it was still moving. How was that still being affected by the gravity? Yes, you have not been broken in as a wage slave. We need to clean this up too, but first I want to know, why did that happen? Why was that thing still being affected by gravity? So this should cloud that. Okay, that should not be happening. What? Why is that happening? To be honest, I want to work at Nintendo, so I'm learning Japanese in high school. That's a good goal. You get as unemployed, and I can charge this amount of money. It's absolutely dumb. That's German laws. Yeah, dude, I can't do that. Here, I get, if I go on unemployment, I get half of my working wage, and the moment I work anywhere, they take it away. So I could go work at, like, if I go work at McDonald's for like minimum wage, I would lose the more money I would get being unemployed as half my original salary. Now, why was gravity? I probably need to remove gravity from the other things that come into contact with it. That is what it is in the States, man. If you made more, let's say if you, let me put it this way. If you made a very decent living before you became unemployed, and they give you half of that on unemployment, and you work anywhere and they take it away, it wouldn't make any sense to work for less than half of what you made, and you wouldn't be incentivized to find a job that makes what you made, because why go lower unless you really need to. But it would make no sense to work for less than half of what you made economically. And I'm not saying anything against it, for or against it, but that's just the way it is. If I live here, the more I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a good or a bad thing. And I feel like I'll leave that. I feel like I'm gonna start going into a rant. Mr. Human Limits is from the States too. Okay, so let's go back to the code here. We have to figure out why the gravity is not removed from. We need to remove gravity from both of them, that's why. The collider and the collision. I kind of love the US. I mean, I love your low taxes compared to you guys, but also I would look at the cost of living versus the taxes. And the safety nets that you guys have, because one of the biggest problems here in the United States is Medicare. Like, our Medicare is so much more expensive than you guys. What I say, Medicare or medical care. And the system we have now incentivizes you to work for a company to get cheaper Medicare. That's the biggest problem. Like, if you go on unemployment, you literally have less money and no, and higher medical, well, you, like I said, you get half. So, and I'm putting this where I live. I don't know if that's the whole thing, for everywhere in the United States, but where I live, half of your income when you're unemployed, but you have no medical benefits. And you come out of pocket for everything. To the point, there is assistance for it, but it's for people who are at poverty level, which is fine. I'm not saying anything against it. So poverty level. Sorry, that was probably my southern drawl coming out a little bit there. So here, this turns off gravity when we're moving something. Okay, so we can't use the same logic here. Remove orbiting. We also probably need to remove. No. I don't know. This is right here. We need to. Okay. We need to remove gravity from this guy as well, right? I think that's what I'm missing. This guy. If it isn't a chain, oh wait a minute, no. Wait a minute. All right, if it's already in chain, you don't have to move that stuff. Okay. You just need to also remove it from the other guy. I'd love to keep watching, but unfortunately I need to get some sleep. Can't afford any mistakes this week. No problem, man. You take it easy and have a good night, man. Good luck on your endeavors, man. Your company. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Because if you're not in the chain, you need to stop your orbiting and you need to stop your gravity as well. I think this works. I just thought this was all taken care of in there. Okay. Stop that moving. Okay, looking good. Like that. Okay, that works. Now it's just close enough to hit this guy and make a connection. Why did that work? Why didn't that work? Because it's in a chain. Okay, so we need to remove that logic as well then. The logic I just put in, we have to make a change to. Really? Do we just take this out of here? What aberrant behavior is this going to cause? Okay, why is that happening? Okay. It was still orbiting. It has to be removed from the orbiting of another. Huh. Okay. So it would have been this guy. Removed its. This wasn't removed from the orbit of orbiting something else. Or do we have to go through every single object to find out if... Okay. So the issue was that thing was orbiting an outside object outside of what it collided with. So we have to remove the collision. We have to find out what object it was rotating and remove it from its rotation information. Huh. Adjusting the headphone. Because it comes in here for the celestial body, it removes anything that's orbiting it. No, it goes through the things that get orbital celestial bodies. Let's see what this is. Oh, is this the ones it's orbiting or the ones it's orbiting? I think this is the ones that it's orbiting, right? Yeah, this should be what it's orbiting. Celestial body orbiting bodies move around. Right. So it should remove that. And move on. So the orbiting body, yeah, this should remove it. I want to see that again. Soon though, I'm gonna have to go take a dog out to the bathroom. Wait, what? Oh, because it came here around connected to that. Okay. COTL? Tears. I was thinking, is that Zelda? COTL. I missed what. Call to the Lamb. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Big ups to Rest in Power, River Boy. It's like it's not, this isn't being removed for some reason. It's not being removed from here. So there it stopped pulling it. I thought I got rid of that song. I think I got cited for this song and I thought I got rid of it. See, it's still getting pulled.
Visions in my head of this, you don't know the half of it. I got dreams of looking up, highs I can get, but nothing feels like how it feels to know these things I don't know yet. The weight of everything, and everything's just thread. Sometimes I'm trapped inside and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But to take on the world is the only thing that we know how to do. I've got dreams of finding out what all of this is for. It's you and me, and everywhere we go it leads to an open door.
Right, it doesn't remove it if it's not in the chain. You got shrimps? Are they good shrimps? Oh, I'm guessing we're talking about the eating shrimps. I don't know. Maybe you got pet shrimps. I don't know.
Nothing really breaks if I got you. Look at the sky when you go outside and know there
Yeah, the problem is here
to keep me.
is that if it's already in chain, it doesn't remove. Wait. I thought the song said it got shrimps. Talking about this song? This song says I got dreams. I guess. I don't know, man. Okay. Entirely deaf. All right, but I think my problem is in this logic. So if the collision wait a minute. But still, the Hmm. Okay, think this out. You find what was collided with. And it's not in the chain. Oh, because you don't get in here. Okay, that makes sense. So these should be out here. I think that works, but all right. I'm gonna take a quick break. Be right back in a couple minutes. right, we back. Let's see if this works.
Now flee from the dragon's heart, warring battle-scarred eyes, reaching to the fate has come. Demon,
I think that worked.
spare my life and our sons.
Why did that change? Okay, that's wrong. That all should not change. Because it makes it like it's one chain and it's not. We'll prove it right here. Yeah, see? One of those is not part of that. Piggyback. All right, let's see. Hey, this is the problem. Why do they all change? I didn't think that color cascaded like that anymore. I thought that was something I did, I removed. But also, that color should not change if it is if it's the same chain. One of my friends started streaming RE Requiem, and it is both so far for me, and both so for me and so not for me. Yeah, because I would imagine because the horror elements versus the actual like shooting zombies is the combat versus the yeah, I know you're talking about Requiem. Yeah, Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil game. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm guessing the problem is like the actual horror element. You don't like probably the horror elements, but you like the combat, I'm guessing, right? Oh, you love the horror, you don't like shooting the zombies. Okay, that's what I was thinking. You like one aspect or the other, because usually what that game is you have some horror and then you have some shooting element. There's some shooting, you know, parts to it. So I thought I got rid of this because I did not want this to happen anymore. Because what that was, when you, I had a mechanic in there where if you connected where you could connect two chains, and it would cascade the same color across them. But it got kind of complicated, and I just didn't want to do all that. At least not for like first demo stuff. Okay, so that got picked up by the gravity. Wait, huh? Okay, that should, well, wait, what? Okay, I think, okay. I'm trying to understand what just happened there. I'm not sure what happened there. Because that should have been the continuation of that chain. Why did it change colors? I think I might need to do something like... What if I set this to the default chain color? Because I think it's just giving it a new color in that function we're in. This passes in, it just passes in the same color. What if I just say, I can't do that. Nope. Nope. Okay, I figured that. Not what I wanted. I think that's the problem. Because this was in here, and when it's not a chain, you can just give it a random color, but you can't do that. So if we know we're in the chain, we need to get that chain color. I kind of wish I had a way to more connect that information. So is this some? I mean, it's from Final Fantasy VI. Is that what you're talking about? I'm sure you probably just heard it in passing. I know you don't play like the Final Fantasy games, but I think you remember. I think I remember you saying your dad played Final Fantasy. It's probably where you heard it. So if we are in the chain, we need to get the chain color. Indicator color. I wish I had connected these. I wish I had connected that better to where if it wasn't the same chain, it would get the same color. But I did not write that logic that way. It's all loosely connected. It's all individually set instead of being connected to the actual thing it's supposed to indicate. Yeah, honestly, I should move the chain color stuff into the celestial object and let that set it itself on connection. That would make sense. Think about that in a second. That's not right either. When I blow this up, this is probably going to, never mind. Yeah. That indicator color was not right either. I should go ahead and make that change. I should just go ahead and do it so I don't have to sit there and track it in individual places. Each chain knows what color it is, and it knows if it's making a new chain to change the color. But the problem was, the reason I did it that way is because tracking different colors. All right, Mr. Moments. Tracking the different colors, I want to make sure like each chain had a different color, a drastically different color than the other chains. So I was managing it at the top level instead of letting the bottom level take care of itself. Which maybe I need to do a hybrid approach of that. Meaning top level has the last one, the last indicator color. But the bottom level is the one that passes it on to everything it gets connected to. I feel like I'm already doing that. I feel like I'm just doing the same thing I was already doing. I'm thinking about the same thing I was already doing. To the code. Because if I come in here, like it only should get one, and now we're adding that you're not in the chain and you're not in the connected chain, which those two should agree with each other. Just in the headset here. If there was no bodies before that, if it was connected to nothing, Or connected to one or nothing. Okay. Else it gets the new chain color. So if it's just being connected to the current chain, it gets the current chain color. So something about the logic. I did something wrong up here. Okay. So this is the one that was collided with. If it's not in the chain, it means it's just a free body. Does this need to be checked as well? Check on something. Grab something from the floor. Okay. So I'm not in here. I'm not in the chain. But could this guy be in the chain? Yes. No, sorry. Yes, it can be in a chain because we're saying here it's not in a connected chain. So either it's not in a chain at all or not. Huh. Yeah, so we need to do this then, I believe. Because if it isn't a chain, you need to take its. We'll clean this up in a minute. So if it's not in the chain, get the next chain color. We're doing the exact same thing here. The only time when they're both not in a chain. Oops, gotta keep one of those. Okay, that looks fine as it is. That doesn't look right. Okay, that wasn't right. That should have been a different one. All right, so the logic still doesn't work properly. Now I biggie back. That never catching on, by the way. We're not going to say biggie back. If they're both on, it will not. I will salt that earth. It also gets it. Or, right. Or if they're both in a if the collided one is in a completed chain, but it shouldn't be here. Saying I'm a MLH back doesn't sound good. No, it doesn't either. Works even less for you. I have chosen neither. The absence of one does not prove the other. I think I should just get rid of this part. I think that's right. I think this needs to go. Set when it does. Okay. The absence of proof is not proof. If it's not, or if it is in a connected chain. I'm way proofreading. Okay. Because I don't think at this point right here, we only want what was collided with, or the origin of the collision event. We don't care what's happened to it, where it is, or what's happened to it. We only care down here if this is not already in the chain. The collided is not already in the chain. So if it isn't, we get rid of the gravity and the orbiting. And then if it's not in the chain, or if it's in, or if the origin of the event is not in the chain, or if it is in a completely connected chain, it gets a new color because it's a new it's a new chain. Then we make sure to get rid of this stuff off of it, and we add it to the chain. Okay, I think that works. My thing is looking so spooky right now. Your thing, what's your thing? Don't be creepy, man. Probably playtime. Oh, okay. Just, you had me worried there for a second. Okay. Okay, that looks right. This should hit that one and connect. Okay. Connected. Yeah, it should be the same color. That should be the same color. Okay, that should be connected to the end. So that's connected to the end, so it's got the same color. That one. Okay. That looks weird. I feel like I shouldn't be there. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. See, yeah, that should have been a different color. All right. I still have a mind to go ahead and do it on the lower level. Connect it directly to the actual chain information. All right, my dude. Have fun. Kind of nervous. I never played a horror game. You're afraid of the horror game you're making, which that would be a thing. If you made a horror game that could scare you, the person that made it, that would probably be like the scariest game ever. I think I've seen it. I've not played it. I've watched somebody stream it. Is that the one like it's kind of body horror? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. The thing is, it looked horrifying but boring. If you get what I'm saying, like there really wasn't anything going on in that game other than like weird stuff happening to you. Yeah, I watched a stream of it. I mean, it can get like graphic, but I don't think I've seen anything like not safe for work in there. But I also didn't watch that whole stream because, like I say, it just got boring to watch. Do I? It is safe, not safe for work. Okay. Because I didn't see the whole game, so. What to do here? I could set up and move that into utility. Let utility track the most recent one. And then the lower levels pull from utility. Okay, that could work. Instead of doing this where I'm having to like judge when this is called, just let it call when it's making a new chain. And then you don't have to mess with this. Passing around the color. Let us do that. So let's go grab our, and let's go somewhere cool. Here we go. Let's do Kansas City. No, Kansas City. Okay. What? How's that broken? Oh, is it all broken? Okay, well that's one. How my city's broken? That's broken. That's broken. Well, the only one left is Houston and Waikiki. Okay. Well, that's on the list of things I gotta fix. We need the code for, we need that function. This needs to go in utility.
Obscure online, embittered by the passive time. Start a game of skill and rhyme, a duel. Our online peers anonymous shall vote here now which one of us gets the last laugh decided by the dwelling of the duels. Jokes, jokes, jokes. Make them laugh until they joke fearlessly. I'm in the aisles, playing staring Princess Charming. Thrills, thrills, thrills. Dashing feats and bloody spills, and I guarantee you'll never see the ending coming.
It's the timer stuff down here. Oh, there's some color stuff. We'll throw it down there. And this could actually work this into what I really wanted to do was track the last color and do a contrasting color, or track the last couple colors maybe. And that way we don't have common colors kind of showing up or similar colors showing up. I wonder if there's a good way to calculate that. Like some type of algorithm that lets you calculate values that are not near each other. But then I'd have to have a way to get rid of them once the chain is done. Unless I do something similar, so something to where like I create a tracking number on the color for the chain, and then when the chain's done, it just tells it, okay, release this color, Because it's random right here, it makes it too easy for the colors to be similar. Want to do that? Do I want to set up a system where it can retire a color once the chain is being destroyed? My game is pretty nice. I had a few problems like low visibility, difficult platforming, but fixed them. Oh, nice. Okay. Kind of want to do that system, but it had to be passed everywhere. And maybe that's what it is. It registers, instead of passing the color around, we pass the ID around from then on. And then it asks for it from utility. But the question is there an algorithm that lets us not get close to the same color or the same numerical values? Or I could just do something like keep cycling randoms. Well, no, that would get too much. All right, Miss Human Limits, you have a good night, man. Always appreciate the hang. Yeah, because every single time I create a color, I have to go back and look at all the colors I've created and make sure I don't get close to those numbers. Seems a bit much. I have to cycle through each one of the RGB values, compare it against the RGB value of what I'm trying to create. And if any of them get close, then I have to start over and create a new value and pass through that system again. Go through that process again. It feels like feels pretty just pretty overly complicated. I could just check against the last one and just make sure it's not close to it. I think I might do something like that, but I won't do it where I'll compare the last one, and if it is close, I'll flip the values around. Or I'll make it do another random. A random that's halfway on the opposite side of the spectrum. So it'll be like really this should have been 15 to 0.75, and then the middle, well, really it's 85. The middle being 50. And if it's close to the value on this side of 50, I'll flip it to the other side of 50 and do a random value there. Or I could just check the previous value and make it so if it's less than 50, do a random 50 to 85. Or if it's greater than 50, do a random from 15 to 50. I think that'll work better. I gotta take another quick break. Bathroom break. 1 sec. All right, we're back. All right, so let's get this started. So we need to build a system that actually tracks at least the last color, last chain color given out. Can't set it to good. Oh, you can't set it here, can you? Yeah, you can. Oh, I actually have to set a variable. Huh. What is going on? That is super weird. What was that? Dude, what is going on tonight? Everything is so weird tonight. From my computer issues to now all my backgrounds are gone. All my live camera feeds are gone. And you got weird flames in the background. Oh, wow, look at that. There's a storm there. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that was a lightning strike. Let's make it white because the color can never be white, I believe. Well, it can never be black, I know that much. It should never be black or white. It's not, well, it is kind of still random. Am I doing the same thing I've done already? I am improving on the selection. But it still will be passing around the same color. Let's go look at that for a second. This is energy. We need to be in celestial bodies. Chain. Chain add, chain addition. Because either we're passing around the color or we're passing around an ID to the color. It's the same thing. The only extra step is now then you have to go get it from the utilities. Okay, so looking at this. If the bodies are 0 or 1, the count of connected bodies is 0 or 1. Means you're not in a chain or you're at the end of a chain. Then you take the... Wait a minute. But you get a new chain? A new color? Bodies before the add was 1. Just wait, wouldn't you take the color if it was, well, I don't know. So if it's 0, you already set this stuff. I think I understand what I did here. Hmm. And then the last one. Hmm. All right, let's see here. Just the headphones. Hmm. I just feel like I'm just going to be doing the same thing. But I am bringing it to the lower level. But it's still doing the exact same thing of it's just going to pull the new color and just pass around. Huh. I don't use that chain pause anymore, but we'll see. Yeah, here's where I set the color if it hasn't been set yet. Hmm. Mikey's going back on how I should write this. I want them to just have the idea passed around. and then just use it to retire the color when it's done. But I'm not going to check every color. Should I play around with it some more? Figure out what the real issue is here. We'll put the old system in here. We'll put that system we're talking about in here of just the upgraded last colors. Just my headset again because it is tight. Well, minimum inclusive, max inclusive. Okay. No. All right. We'll do it like this. That still doesn't protect me from having similar colors. It makes it less likely, especially if I'm alternating from a darker to a lighter color between chains.
Tizzle beats.
Right, that. Get random.
Tizzle beats.
Which grave tooltips? Oh. Oh, text mode. Okay. All right, let's see how this works. Oh. Okay, hold on. Doesn't do it at all. Oh, plus, okay, and get rid of this. Nope. Okay. What if it's the color black? Oh, wait a minute. This is backwards. Oops. All right. Okay. Oh. Okay. I can't believe that that's part of the problem, but it is a problem. Oh, multipliers, how you doing, man? Figure you going to bed early. The heck? All right, time to debug. Late night work. I got you. What you working on? Oh, I can't debug because it's not it. It's not the main object. Singing for Toy Maker Classics. I'm not sure what you mean. I can still put this in the celestial bodies and just have it not do the last color. Do something opposite of this color. So I really ain't doing anything here spectacular. You always join. Yeah, me and him talk for a good little minute. How you doing tonight, man? Doing pretty good. I'm beating a really weird level in Geometry Dash, so I won't be able to talk often because it's kind of hard. Okay. All good, man. Just sitting here trying to figure out some mechanics issues I gotta clean up with the game. Nothing overly big, complicated going on. Yeah, I'm gonna take this out of here. I think I kind of overthought this. If I'm doing it this way, if I was gonna do it the other way where I was gonna register colors and actually check the values. Right. Is it changed already? Yeah. Oh, because it's static. Nope, that won't pass, so we'll take it back out of here. Or you will not set it there, we will actually pass it back out. So we won't need to do this. All right, let's make that change first. We do that. Well, if it's new, get a new one. We had the cascade change going on in there. I don't understand why I was doing that. Maybe I should put that back and check what that was actually doing. Maybe I took that out too quickly. Oh, back in here. I still feel like that should be wrong, but we'll see. Still feel like it should be a better connection between the color, the indicator color, and the chain. Really, we should specify what's in it. We should be able to have a way to know what's inside of a chain. We don't. Well, I didn't build it that way. And it probably would have made it easier with the calculation stuff if I had done it that way. Made actual ways to track track if stuff is in chains. All right, there we go. See if this works. See what this breaks, including me. Yo, nothing? What did I do wrong? How did I break that? I'm gonna do something silly here. I'm gonna just throw these values in here and see if that makes a difference. What? Oh wait, exactly. So it works now. So it's working now because for some reason you can't just have a you can't do this when you just have a blank color value. It has to be set when you create the object. Oh, it has to be a float. Never mind. All right. Okay. I mean, that looks like different colors. It is. No. Oh, that's busted. Huh. Okay. So if no one was connected to you before, you go ahead and set your indicator color. They're setting each other, they're setting themselves to their own individual colors. But I thought if you created one and then connected it, the next one will be getting connected. Yeah, because figure you're coming in here, you're the first one being assigned. You create your color, indicator color. Then when it comes down here, giving the new chain your color. I'm gonna take this out, just make sure it's not doing anything weird here. Let's see where you land. Is that changing the color though? It is. Doggone it. I might have to build a way to track chains. Because essentially you should only get a color when you start a chain. And also my value setup isn't working either because the colors are way too close together. It's too complicated. But I think I really need to connect the indicator more to actual. To if it's an actual chain. I'm kind of screwing this up on multiple levels here. 'Cause I don't think we should be passing this at all. I think if you know you're already in a chain, the question is you don't know that when you do this. Or do you? Wait. Because if the new guy is coming in and he's already on a chain, you belong to its chain. So really, this doesn't make sense to do this. You would check first if the guy coming in is already part of a chain, and you would take its chain color. Then you would say, okay, he's not part of a chain. I'll come in here, create my own, and then I'll pass it to him. I think that's the way that should work. This is all checking if you're part of a chain already. Sets all that up. So it's getting late. Is not in chain. Yeah, that's all you really need. If it's not in chain, else. I feel like it's going to be more likely that it's part of a chain. I don't want it. Right, there we are. It should be not in not in a connected chain. Fingers. Like, we shouldn't even put that here. Like, we put that here. So what happens, period. then this is more of if this dude is not part of a chain, then he gets our color because he's being added to our chain. But what should happen? I mean, we shouldn't need to do that. He'll just grab it here. So we don't even need to do this up here. Or pass it anymore. 'Cause I would love to get away from that. Because this should just happen. What I'm doing here is this. Get rid of this guy. So it comes in. It's part of a chain. I take its color. Wait a minute. Feel like we're missing something here. The thing is, I should not be part of a chain either. I think that should have a F around it. All right. Okay, so if I'm not in the chain and he is in the chain and it's not connected, I take his color, else I get a random color. Which this breaks because we don't have a color yet. So we kind of broken this logic already. But going back to this, okay. So then we add to his chain, we add to him. So he knows it's part of, each side knows they're part of the same chain. Or they're connected. It comes in here. It says, okay. It can say, I'm not part of a chain. Okay, well, let's back up. Okay, let's take the scenario of two bodies that are not part of a chain. So it comes in here, it says, okay, I'm not part of a chain. He's not part of a chain. get the random color. Which doesn't work because we don't have a color set yet. But keep going. Next, when he comes in, he's not in the chain, but he looks at us, and we've already registered ourselves as the chain, I believe. Yeah, we're registered as a chain. So it grabs our color. All right, now flip it. New color, new body added to a chain. It comes in here. I'm not a part of a chain, but the new guy is. So I take his color. And then when I go in, pass myself into him, he's in the chain, so he's not going to set anything. So that works. Now, if it comes in, you're being added to a completed chain. Essentially, you're branching off to a new chain. I'm not a chain, but the new guy is connected to a chain, so I get my own color. And then he gets passed in me. He says, I'm in the chain, so I just skip over this. Okay. We're gonna have to figure that color stuff out later. I think I'll call this one because we're gonna have to dig into. We're probably have to go back to the way it was in the utilities. I don't know if I've got that. Do I really want to dig into that tonight? Do I want to call it? I think we'll call it. Thanks everybody that stopped by. Mr. Human Limits, Riven, oh, am I blanking? I know David stopped by, and Multi Wizard, and Green Coder, of course, Green Coder. And all the lurkers, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will probably be back on Wednesday. We'll be doing more of this mechanics fix stuff because we want to get the demo. Until then, stay safe out there, make games, and I will see you next time.